Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the FX Daily Roundup. And we have seen the cable go and get past this huge pivot that we've been looking at for months and months and months. It's actually, worked well in the sense it's, given a direction as to when the market gets above or below it. And you can see here, we discussed it this morning in the European crossover webinar. We've actually challenged it 3 times previously, and until we got to this 4th time, we were able to get a break above it. Potentially, we're looking for a move that could, eventually we could get up to 32.8, but for a short term, I think we have 31.14. But our immediate resistance we had here was 30.50, and you can see we're even getting past that. So we're really getting going. And the reason we were looking for potentially up here, and we can make it all the way up to here, this challenge is 32.08, is because we've spent so much time here. Look how much time we've been consolidating here below this pivot. So basically, anybody that's short, you have to cover that. Obviously, goes and fuels it. And we're actually still continuing. I mean, we closed above the pivot yesterday. And I guess because we've seen a couple of moves above it, but not closes, and then falter. I guess we had probably some people that probably thought, well, you never know. And so those that didn't cover the shorts, obviously they have to now. Can't deny this as far as from a technical standpoint. But let's go on and move on to the euro dollar. And this is a bit concerning. One of the guys in the chat room was asking, about the, how that looks, and was, indicating, well, it looks a bit like a gravestone doji. The wick's not too long, but I mean, sometimes you'll see it with a little bit shorter wick, but it's definitely not a shooting star. And because with the shooting star now, if we got all the way up in here towards these major key highs on a short-term basis here, and we had a super long wick, then yeah, then we could say that's a shooting star. But for right now, it would look like a gravestone doji. And certainly, like I said, it's a bit disappointing for those that, looking for potentially this to break out. Now we said if we can get a daily close, and we did get that daily close actually above 1074 the other day. And I think we were saying, actually, we're looking for 1034 to stymie, what we call stymie the bears. 1054 would allow this market to move up higher, but have an intermediate target, which was 1154. But our bias chart resistance today was 1107. I think we even had that for yesterday also. So the market made up to, I think, what, about 1112, or I can take a look at it here. Yeah, right around 1112-ish, maybe a hair bit higher. Let's see here. Oh, actually 1116. So we've actually bit of a, I wouldn't say an outright reversal, but definitely looks, rather, concerning if you're long and you ended up buying this thing and thinking, what the heck? But we've got some support here. Right, actually, when I'm saying from a support standpoint, around 1173 for now. If we get below 1173, then it's going to be a bit worrisome, to say the least. Moving on to some other pairs. Our bias chart resistance today for the dollar yen after that move lower is actually 893. Looks like we've topped off here at 890, which is kind of paring back a bit. We've already discussed this from yesterday, which was coming into the week. We got that close above the pivot at 927, and our immediate resistance at the time coming into Monday was 977. You can see that basically just going straight up with the technical levels. But we did say if we got a daily close below that pivot, open the door for a move down to 851. And certainly that's what we got, 851. I think the lows this morning was like 842. But we come up here, resistance on a short-term basis is going to be this 893. So we'll see how that plays itself out. Among some of the other movers here, not a lot happening with the peso. The peso seems to be, after making this move, seems to be trapped in this range. I wouldn't say trapped, but certainly bracketed on the upside, which has been our daily resistance, which is 1962. We have bias chart support coming in 1942. Looks like we're a little bit tired, so potentially we could go on and make it down here to 1938, but today's bias chart support, and it was also yesterday, is 1942. You can look here. This wick is a little bit short, but almost looks like a little bit of a gravestone doji here. Suggests, like I said, after this move, a bit of a pair back. If we close a little bit lower here today, obviously be looking here at this area right in here for some support on a very, very short-term basis. That's right, really right there. But if we close below that, really opens the door for them to make a move to 1938. But it's been trading in a quiet sense for the most part. And we did get turned away here on the dollar CAD. Now, we did see an interesting turnaround on Monday, because here on Friday, we looked like, hey, this market is going to go on and, fall down and take a slide. We rallied back up here on Monday, but we ran out of gas, and here we are now. Looks like we're open to going in much, much lower, and obviously it closed below this area, which is going to be 32.05. Really opens the door for them to move somewhat lower here. Probably at least come down into, I would say, about the 31.63-ish area, potentially. Like I said, we're looking for if a follow-through move potentially for tomorrow. And we'll just take a quick look over into the cross rates. Euro New Zealand continues to still remain weaker. Look at this. We've been looking for a move down here to 69.42, and we're just about there. I mean, once again, just going with the straight up technical levels, and we're just about there. So that would, I wouldn't say complete the move, but like I said, the focus on the webinars I do with the European crossover webinar is on a very short-term basis. I mean, we're looking for short-term trades, 2 to 3 days, scalping, day trading. So when we're looking here, I would look for this market to go on. I mean, if you're looking for how far this will go, when we were trading a very tight range, on a very, very short-term basis, I would be saying, well, we pretty much completed the move down here, which is 69.42, so we may see the market kind of stabilize, maybe rally up a little bit here. But that was a move we've been looking for, and actually has been today's bias chart and yesterday's bias chart support also. So move down here to 69.42. We'll take a look here at the Aussie yen in light of with the move that we've seen here in the equities. Well, you can see here where it looked like the market might be a little bit tired here, and we've roared back. Well, I guess it's all within perspective when I say roar back. I mean, we've been trading, look at the pitiful tight range here. You would think that these are like maybe 10-minute bars or 15-minute bars. They're actually daily bars, so you can see how pitiful the range has been. So if you look at that, it's all, you have to look at things in context. Yeah, you'd have to say, wow, that thing roared back. But we did go on a move higher here in light of what we've done here in the SPOOs. Taking a look here, we'll get back to that, but bear with me. Let me just go on and take a look where we stand here on the guppy. Finally moving higher here in the guppy. And our bias chart, we were actually right there in the European session, 41.82. We were just below it, so we kept the resistance. Said, hey, look, we'll just stay with 41.82, but potentially we can come up here to 42.36. But let's see how we finish out the day. Obviously, with sterling pair stronger, we're looking to go on and push this thing for all it's worth. Well, we did see quite the move here in S&Ps, and actually came in during the European crossover webinar while we were on the air at the very beginning, which that headline came through, and we just started ripping up. And we got up to around, I think it was 31.08, market kind of paired back. And then we kind of held steady. We finally broke a little bit lower to think around 31.02-ish, 31. Well, actually, I think we got just a hair below 31 even. And then we moved even higher. I don't know if there's a lot of people that might be trapped a little bit short. But after getting down yesterday to that 30.74 area, certainly wasn't a time, I wouldn't think, to step in and try and short the thing. Give it a few days, see how far it can go and push. Did have a level around 31, well, actually 3109, I think 12, and I believe the other one was, I had either 3117, 18. But if we can push higher, I think we could potentially get here on the D's futures up to 3124, potentially, although 3121 is key. I'm not doing anything with it today. I'm going to leave it alone, let them do what they want to do in the meantime as they try and figure out how far they can go on and stretch this move. Gold fell off about $12 from the highs right when that story broke out, or potentially I think it was $12. Might have been a little bit more. It may have been almost $14. Bonds have actually pulled back quite a bit. We are into some support here on the March bonds at 58.22. I look at the moment. Bear with me. Hang on. So we actually, as I mentioned, someone was asking in the chat room about the webinar. I kind of lost my train of thought here, but the bonds, they've mentioned in the chat room yesterday. I scalped a little bit in the bonds, but we had a key level there at 60.14. I think we made it up to about 60.11. And actually this morning, I wasn't even paying attention to that, which was when the SPUs went under some trouble. Before that headline broke out, they actually came back. We actually rallied up to 60.11, and then we've had quite a bit of the fall off here. So I think, to me, I think it was just a lot of people that may have been reallocated, thinking we might get that big correction in equities, which we came into some decent support, very good support at 30.74 on a daily basis yesterday, a daily closing basis for these futures for the SPUs. So I think this is more about what this pullback is. Like I said, I would give it a day, at least a day, get past today, let this market digest and see what we really want to do. Talk was that potentially they can go on and get the deal done. They're just trying to work out what kind of rollbacks and tariffs they can get before the December 15th. So that's where we stand on that. That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us here on the FX Daily Wrap-Up. Just as a reminder, we do have the Cyber Week special, which is buy 1 month, get 1 month free with ForexAnalytix. And like I said, you'll have access to not only all the great analysis for different disciplines, whether it's basic technical, harmonics, Elliott wave, also looking at macro, but obviously access to all the tools, as well as, to me, the strength is in the chat room. But like I said, buy 1 month, get 1 month free. Great time to go and take advantage of it as we are starting to move into volatility. Thanks for joining us here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here on the FX Daily Wrap-Up.